rice, known here in Spain as arroz guido. This is possibly one of the best tasting rice dishes in the world. Amazing textures and flavors, like seriously, you're not going to miss any of that meat or seafood. But zucchini, broccoli, tomatoes, and green beans. Of course, you can use whatever vegetables you like. The ones that I'm using are the most traditional to make this dish. I'm going to begin by cutting half of a red bell pepper into thin strips that are about 2 inches long. We'll also cut half of a green bell pepper, once again, into thin strips that are about 2 inches long. Thinly slice half of a zucchini into rounds that are about 1/4 inch thick. And then cut the rounds into half-moon shapes. I'm going to roughly dice 1 large tomato, and for the final vegetable to prepare, I have about 12 fresh green beans. I'm going to cut off the ends from the green beans and then cut them in half to end up with pieces that are about 2 inches long. And reserved, I also have 1 cup of fresh broccoli, half of an onion that I roughly chopped, and 4 cloves of garlic that I thinly sliced. Alright, let's start cooking our dish. I'm going to grab a large fry pan. Important to use a larger pan here, that way all the ingredients fit in there. I'm going to heat this with a medium-high heat and add in 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. After heating the olive oil for about 60 seconds, you don't want to go any longer. I'm going to add in the cut vegetables into the pan. And start mixing everything together. The secret here, make sure all the vegetables are coated in that olive oil, and also you don't have to mix this continuously. Just get in there about every 1 to 2 minutes. That way the vegetables don't burn and they all evenly cook. After about 8 minutes, and the zucchini and the onion are translucent, and the rest of the vegetables are nice and soft, you don't want to brown them, otherwise they're going to lose their texture. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, and season generously with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give this a quick mix, that way those seasonings are evenly mixed around. Now to make this Spanish riddled rice, I'm using saffron threads from Golden Saffron. For those of you that follow me, you know this is my personal favorite saffron. Incredible quality, beautiful flavor. Link where you can get some in the description box below. Once everything's well mixed, I'm going to add in 1 cup of ground rice. To make this dish, you can use whatever rice you like. The one I'm using is very similar to medium grain rice or even arborio rice. And I'm also going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of freshly chopped thyme. You can substitute this for half a teaspoon of dried thyme. And once again, we'll give this a quick mix, that way everything's evenly mixed together. Then I'm going to add in 3 cups of vegetable broth. The one that I'm using is homemade. You'll find a link on how to make it in the iCard above. And I'm also going to add in 1/4 cup of frozen peas. And we'll give this one final mix. That way all the ingredients are evenly distributed throughout the pan. After this step, you don't want to mix the rice again, as it disrupts the way that it cooks and it takes away its beautiful texture. About 10 minutes after adding the broth into the pan, and you can see a lot of that broth has been incorporated into the rice, I'm going to lower the fire from a medium-high heat to a low-medium heat. And we're gonna let this simmer just between 3 to 5 minutes or until all that broth has been incorporated into the rice. Once there's virtually no broth left in the pan, this dish is ready to go. I'm gonna remove the pan from the heat and cover it with a dishcloth. We're gonna let this sit here just for a couple minutes. By trapping that steam in there, it's gonna help finish cooking up all that beautiful rice. After a couple minutes, I'm gonna uncover the pan. And check it out, our Spanish riddled rice is done, arroz viudo. You saw how easy it was to put this together, and with that bounty of fresh produce in there, this promises to be one of the best things ever. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes.